Welcome to Sense and Nonsense A to Z, where we pick topics based off of the letter of the day. Today is episode 1 of season 2, featuring the letter A.
We're family and we're your hosts, AT and Z. So let's get started. Hey, aloha.
Aloha.
It's August and we're back.
Yes, we are.
It's been 4 weeks.
It's been really strange not seeing your face so much.
Yours too. Or even just, chit-chatting about whatever.
Yeah.
It's weird. I know.
It was weird. We took a break from each other a little bit as well.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit here and there, but
that was about it.
Yeah.
And just shot you a text and email and a couple emails too.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what else is back for August?
What?
Pumpkin at Dunkin', baby.
Oh, it is.
Yep. Pumpkin spice, pumpkin swirl, pumpkin this, pumpkin that. Love it.
We do love the pumpkin. Yes.
I do.
This season, we're shaking things up here at Sense and Nonsense A to Z.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
We've got some new segments for you this season that we're very excited about, and we hope you like.
We do.
And why don't we begin with one right now?
Okay.
This is a fun one called, what do you think of? For instance, our word's going to be America or American. You can use either one.
Okay.
So when you think of the word, you got to say like American Express, let's say. Okay.
Right.
AT, you start.
Okay. American Airlines.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, they've been in the news.
Yeah. Been canceling a lot of flights. I heard they canceled 31,000 flights in November.
Something like that. Yeah. And you do realize we had bailed them out too, right?
I know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Okay. Mine is American Pie.
Ooh.
Did you see those?
I did. Oh, yeah. Loved it.
I mean, Eugene Levy, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The ultimate dad.
Oh my God. The ultimate dad. But some really nasty things happened to that pie, boy.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go with American Gigolo then.
Oh, that's a good one. They're making a series of that on Showtime.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I saw a little thing for it. I'm never going to see it because I don't have Showtime, but yeah, they're actually doing a thing.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go with American Eagle.
Oh, the jean company.
Yeah, I love their jeans.
Do you?
Do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still squeezing my butt into them.
Okay. American Psycho.
Oh, did you see that movie?
Scary. Yep. In between my fingers.
Oh my God.
And of course I didn't see the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh no.
Scary.
Not me. No, he was too scary. I had to turn him off.
Yeah.
I liked him, so I'm like, I didn't want to be too scared of him, so I had to stop. Yeah.
You're up.
Oh gosh.
Batter up.
American Beauty.
Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to throw you a little curveball here.
Okay.
Young Americans.
Oh, it's a great song.
Great song, right?
It's a great song, and I think you're the winner. Ding, ding, ding.
Sense.
Yes, Sense. And ironically, sung by an Englishman.
Good point.
That's why you got to win on that one.
Yeah.
You got to win. Okay.
Sounds good.
So that was awesome. So that was a little fun segment. And we'd love to know what you think when you think of the word American. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter and drop us a little comment and let us know what you think when you think of American.
Okay, a couple things in the news.
Okay.
And a couple of things starting with the letter A. So first one is about an announcer. Vince Scully passed when we were away. Yeah. On August 2nd, he was 94. God bless him. Yep. Born in the Bronx, he announced for 67 consecutive seasons with the Dodgers.
Wow. That's incredible.
Amazing. Okay, so he started with the Dodgers in 1950. Then when they left Brooklyn and went to LA, he followed them in 1957. And then he retired after the 2016 season.
Nice.
He's considered the greatest baseball announcer of all time.
Wow.
There's just no doubt. I was watching the ESPN game last weekend, and it was the Yankees against the Red Sox. And they were talking to Bob Costas, who had called in. And he was talking about Vin Scully. And he was saying that there's just no debate that he was the greatest. Now, number 2 and number 3, now that's up for discussion. And I got to agree with him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
That's cool.
All right. So some other stuff that's in the news. Mr. I'm immunized. Aaron Rodgers is in the news.
Oh, boy.
He's publicly spoken about his use of psychedelics for mental health. Have you heard about this?
Vaguely.
Okay. He uses ayahuasca.
Is that like mushrooms or something?
Well,
magic mushrooms.
I think it's along those lines.
Okay, yeah.
AYAHUASCA. It's a psychoactive tea that contains hallucinogenic drug DMT. So this tea has been used for thousands of years in Central and South America.
Okay.
He talks about this journey of self-love.
Okay.
And that your mental health has to do with your unconditional self-love. And unless you have unconditional self-love, you can't unconditionally love somebody else, kind of thing. Okay. So a little controversial because obviously this is some sort of drug, right? And he says that he's used it in the off season during a retreat, yada, yada, yada. And this drug is actually not a violation with the NFL policy. So I don't know.
To be honest, I don't really care. If it's not affecting his performance, it's none of my business what he does in the off season.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still considered a drug.
So is marijuana. So is Xanax.
Yeah. But I mean,
alcohol is a drug.
It's according to NFL policy. I mean, there's one thing about drugs. It's another thing about abiding by a policy of where you're working or where you're playing in this case.
Yeah, so, but it's in the off season, and not for nothing, but regardless of what your job is, they shouldn't be able to rule your life. If it affects gameplay, that's one thing. If it's not, and it's not during the season, then it's none of their business what he does. If he wants to share it, that's one thing, but it's nobody's business. That's one of the things that I find to be hard. People make everything their business. It's not that I'm a big proponent of Aaron Rodgers or whatever he does or anything, but we have to put these things in perspective. Why is it controversial for him to do something like that? We medicine men.
I think the controversy is whether he's continuing to do that during the season.
Well, he said it was in the off season, but even if he's doing it during the season, if it's not in violation of anything and it doesn't affect his performance in any way on the football field.
Obviously it's not. Yeah. And I have a feeling there's more to come to this.
Of course there is. With Aaron Rodgers, are you kidding me? There's gonna be more.
I've got one more thing.
Okay.
All right. There's a big interest auction next month at Sotheby's.
Oh.
The number 23 Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan jersey, worn by him in Game 1 of the 1998 NBA Finals, is going up for auction. Take a guess what the projected sale is of this jersey. Just take one guess.
$5 million.
You're about right. Between $3 million and $5 million is what's projected. Can you believe it for one jersey? It's crazy.
It's Michael Jordan.
I know. Yeah. I mean, talk about greatest of all time, right?
Right. Is it going towards anything or just?
Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything. I mean, I hope so.
All right.
Just kind of knowing the guy, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I think you have something.
I do have something.
What's up?
A little good news story in sports, but it's in Little League sports.
Oh, I like Little League sports.
At the Southwest Region Championship in Little League Baseball, boys aged 10 to 12, one of the balls thrown by the pitcher for Texas East got away from him and he actually hit the batter in the head.
Okay.
And he knocked his helmet off and he was on the ground. And the 12-year-old kid from Oklahoma got up, signaled he was all right and went to first.
Okay.
And as they're standing there, the crowd applauded him, and they're standing there and he's looking at the pitcher, and the pitcher's devastated.
Okay.
He had his head down, and he was devastated by it.
It was obviously a mistake. It wasn't intentional.
It was not intentional. And he was so upset.
Sure.
And the kid from Oklahoma took off his helmet and put it on the bag and walked to the mound. We don't know everything that transpired, but he just hugged him, and he was telling him, "It's okay. I'm okay. You're doing a great job."
That's sweet.
I hung out with him just for a few minutes, actually, on the mound, and sorted him out. And Texas went on to win, but people were going crazy over this. Like, people were crying. In the stands, and the news really took and got a hold of it. It was on CNN and everything. And he said, what you take away from this is that people just really need to take care of each other, regardless of what's going on.
No matter what team you're on.
No matter what. And they went on to win. And the kid from Oklahoma was like, I'm going to cheer him on. I hope they go all the way.
Yeah.
Talk about sportsmanship from 12-year-olds. I mean, come on.
We all have something to learn from that.
Absolutely. So I
what
thought
a moment,
that was awesome.
huh?
Yeah. And
cool.
Since it was a sports story, I thought you'd like it.
I do like that. I didn't hear about that. Yeah. Surprised.
Yeah.
I have 10 questions, A edition.
Yay.
All right. Question number 1. Mm-hmm. It's food related.
Of course it is.
Favorite appetizer.
Mm-hmm. I like the spinach and artichoke dip.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a good one too.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm all about coconut shrimp.
Oh, I understand. When I could eat that, that was lovely.
It was a good thing. Yeah. All right. Number 2, ever shoot an arrow?
Yes.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Me too.
I loved archery.
I even looked into doing that as a grown-up, starting an archery club. And there's one around here, but it's a little far.
When I lived in Jackson, I had a bullseye, and I would shoot ever so often. Yeah. But I loved it in high school.
Me too. I loved it. Loved it.
Okay. It made you feel like you were Xena, right? Warrior princess.
Well, made you feel, there's something very empowering about that.
I think so too.
It's because it's a skill.
Right.
And doing that is really, I don't know, maybe primal somehow. I don't know.
Maybe.
Awesome.
Maybe.
It's awesome though.
Okay. Next question. How many, I'm not going to say this word. I'll spell it. Alexa devices do you have?
Phone and TV, I guess.
Oh, you don't have those little pucks?
Nah.
Oh, I love those little pucks. I would have one in every room if I could.
You can.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. If I didn't want to cough up the money.
I'm a little bit wary of the fact that they listen to you all the time.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you see every so often you're passing by and it's like, why is that circling?
Yeah.
Why is that light on?
Also just when the TV is on and it dings and I'm like,
Big Brother.
The other day I was listening to music through the TV and it just dinged and I don't know why, because it was like just music. And I'm like, oh, man.
You know how you can go in and name your devices?
Sure.
Have you ever? Okay. There's a new name that you can name a device.
Oh, yes?
Ziggy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I have named one Ziggy, by the way.
Of course you have.
Because I have one of those pucks. It's more or less of a dome rather than a puck. And in the speaker, you see the clock. It's really cool. I love that thing. Love it. I love those things.
I like what they can do for you, but I'm very wary of the listening.
Oh, yeah.
It bugs me. It does.
I know. Okay. Next question. Do you use an ATM machine?
No.
I've only used it once when they first came out and I had gotten a card. I was like, hey, let me try this. And I was like, I think I got like $10. And I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I don't like it.
I have used them. I have, but I don't generally. I do when I'm abroad.
Oh, yeah.
But
is that a big thing over there?
No, but there's no bank available. And you generally, you go to the grocery store and you just get money back if you need to get money back or whatever.
Right.
But there you're gonna get a fee because they have a conversion, and every conversion is different. Whereas if you go to use an ATM, it's a little bit more consistent.
Sure. Okay, next question. Most used app.
Amazon.
Really?
No. Clock, alarm.
Yeah, I guess those are apps, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically are.
How about the messenger, the texting?
Yeah, I guess that's an app too.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I guess messaging.
Yeah, I guess mine too. I like Bitmoji. I use that. But I use that often, but I don't use it every day anymore for some reason.
I do use Bitmoji, but I wouldn't say I use it the most.
Right.
You know, I probably use the little game apps because when I'm waiting for a little guy to come out of school, I'm sitting there and I'm tooling around and you know, stuff like that. Or if I'm at an appointment or something and I'm waiting. Yeah.
You mentioned Amazon. When was your last Amazon order?
I just got one yesterday. Today. Not today, although
2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, right? No, yesterday.
Yesterday.
I got a printer cartridge.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with my distribution center, but I keep on getting delays.
I know. It's got to be that little hub, because that happens to you a lot.
It does. And I can't believe how often they lose the package. It's like, are you serious? You lost the package?
Honestly,
again?
I think that there's somebody who's in charge there who doesn't want to put forth any effort and just send stuff back. Undeliverable, whatever.
Oh my God, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, last time on an airplane.
Oh, it's been a while.
For me too.
5 years, maybe 5 years.
Oh, mine's over 10. Where'd you go? Overseas?
England.
Yeah. I'd gone to St. John, remember?
Yeah.
When I went to St. John? That was over 10 years ago.
Wow.
Oh my God. I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you refer to an almanac?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I do.
No.
Ever so often.
I never have.
Oh,
my mother used to get them all the time.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Farmer's Almanac.
Exactly.
Year. Yeah.
It used to be a thing.
It did. I know.
Okay. Best use for almonds.
Milk.
Almond milk. That's good. Yeah. I gotta agree with you, but butter's up there too. Almond butter.
I like cashew butter better than almond butter.
I do too. Yep. Bit smoother.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. Last time at an amusement park.
Does the fare count?
You know, that's funny because I ran these questions by my great niece when she came over, and she said the same thing. Does a state fair count?
Yeah.
I was like, I guess it does.
Okay, then last year, and it's coming again, and I have plans to go this year as well because little guy did really well.
Good, really good.
I don't, because I don't like the rides.
I don't either.
No,
I
used
to
rides when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but I don't now. I don't enjoy them, but I go on them for him, and I'm very select about it.
Yeah. Do you remember we used to go to Great Adventure?
Yes, I do.
And not the rides anymore. We used to just go through the safari park. You know,
did like the safari. Yeah,
I did too. I love that. Plus, it was a hop, skip, and a jump from where I used to live.
It really was. It was very convenient.
Very convenient.
I did go on the roller coasters and stuff when I was young, and I don't know why, because I never really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I did it because that's what you did, I guess.
Yeah.
And I would grin and bear it through the whole thing. I'm afraid of heights. I never, I never liked them, but I did them all the time. I've talked to my mother about this because she said to me, I didn't know you were afraid of heights for the longest time. Because you would go on all these rides and everything.
Yeah, you would.
I would. I guess that's kind of a feel the fear and do it anyway moment, you know?
Sure. Just close your eyes.
Yeah, I did. I would, clench my teeth and close my eyes. And
remember free fall?
Hated that.
Oh, you used to love it. The three of us, you and your mom went on that. Yes. I remember it.
I know. Love it. No, I like the feeling
Did you?
Of it, but I didn't like the actual getting
visual
up there
of it?
and no. Yeah. I like the dropping out of your stomach. Like that was
that was
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
All right. So that was actually 10 questions, but I got a little bonus.
Okay.
April or August?
August.
Me too. I love August.
It's because it's like the anticipatory month before fall really sets in.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
In April, I know all the heat is coming and
and it's
raining and
yeah. So anyway, all right. 10 questions, A edition.
Nice.
You feel like doing sense or nonsense?
Sure. First one of the season. I'm excited.
Yeah. You're going to love this.
Uh-oh.
The category is anacondas.
Anacondas?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
And they're in our listenership.
Right down the toilet. Okay. Sense or nonsense? Female anacondas give birth to more than 30 eggs at a time. Is that sense or nonsense?
Sense.
It's actually nonsense, but it's kind of a trick question.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anacondas usually give birth to live snakes, not eggs. Yeah. Their offspring,
oh, of course they do.
Yes. Their offspring emerge.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. What am I thinking?
The offspring emerge from eggs inside the mother's body.
Ew.
And then they're born live. Yeah. A female anaconda can bear more than 30 babies per litter.
I knew there were a lot. I knew that. I knew that. That was a silly mistake.
And one other thing is they're about 2 foot long when they're born.
Gross.
No less 30 of them. Can you
imagine?
Yikes. Okay. Next question. Sense or nonsense? Female anacondas are larger than male anacondas.
I have no idea. I'll just say sense.
It's true. You got one right.
Yay.
Also, among terrestrial vertebrae, anacondas show the biggest size difference gap between males and females. While males can reach an average length of 10 feet, females can grow to be between 17 and 25 feet long.
Holy moly.
Yep. So the real big ones are females, not males.
Gosh.
Okay, sense or nonsense? The anaconda's venom is the deadliest of all snakes.
Nonsense.
Very good. Anacondas are members of the boa family and lack venom.
Yay.
Yeah, very good. They're considered ambush predators. So they're carnivorous. They hunt mammals, fish, birds, and reptiles. Like most snakes, anacondas have 4 rows of upper teeth that point backwards.
Gosh.
And 2 rows in their lower jaw.
So the prey can't escape, I guess. Huh?
Exactly. So once they get their jaws on them, then they wrap their muscular bodies around them. All they do is suffocate and die. Yeah.
Oh,
terrible. And then in most cases, they swallow it whole because they have special ligaments in their jaws that allow them to open excessively wide.
Yeah, unhinged.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
And after they eat a particularly large meal, they don't need to eat for weeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, a couple of bits of information.
Okay. Am I going to be able to sleep after these bits of information?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 4 species of anacondas: green anacondas, yellow anacondas, Bolivian anacondas, and dark spotted anacondas. The biggest and best known are the green ones, which live in wetlands and river basins throughout tropical South America. Mm-hmm. Green anacondas also have made their way into southern Florida.
Really?
Yeah. Green anaconda is the world's heaviest snake, but not the longest. The very large ones can weigh more than 200 pounds.
Holy man.
Right. But the longest snake on Earth is one of the python breeds that average about 25 feet long. Let's say a very large anaconda can take down a deer, a pig, or a jaguar.
Okay.
Can you
take it down, but eat it? Down. Can they eat it?
Well, they're not going to eat it whole, but I'm sure that they can take chunks out of it. That's disgusting, right? You can sleep after this, right?
No.
Two more little things. Anacondas are primarily nocturnal and they live to be about 10 years old.
Oh my God.
I know. Do you ever watch that movie?
No.
I can't either.
No.
I definitely will not sleep after watching that movie. No, I know it.
Way to start off the season there, AT.
Yeah.
All right. We have a new segment this season called
We do.
Pineapple Corner.
Yes.
This is about the TV show Psych.
Absolutely. Love it.
Love it.
Didn't know anything about it until last season.
Yeah. So I did Psych as a favorite last season during our P episode.
Right.
And AT was intrigued and ran with it and started watching it and loved it just like I did.
Love it.
So we decided to do Pineapple Corner as like a theme for each episode. We are picking an episode of Psych that coincides with our letter of the week. And this one, the first one, is season 2, episode 1, just like us. Season 2, episode 1.
Exactly. How coincidental.
I know, is American Duos.
That was a good one.
That was such a good one. Tim Curry's in it as Nigel St. Nigel, a cantankerous judge on a talent show called American Duos.
Just like American Idol.
Right. But with 2 people singing. And he seeks protection from Psych because someone has made several attempts on his life and he doesn't trust the police. So he really doesn't have a good word for anybody, this guy, Nigel.
He's like a real nasty Simon Cowell.
Exactly. He was modeled after Simon Cowell, but to a really heightened degree.
I mean, bad.
Bad. And Sean and Gus go undercover on the show as Sean Spence Star and Gus TT Showbiz.
And what was the extra T for?
Oh, talent. I think it was. And their audition was Aha's Take on Me, and it's so bad.
You even forgot the verse.
It's so bad.
You sang the wrong verse.
Oh my God. It is one of the most cringe worthy moments on Psych that I've ever seen. It's so bad. But Nigel pushes them through. He has to push them through. And normally,
because that's part of the plan.
That's part of the plan. But he's normally so harsh that some people don't even open their mouths and he's booting them off. And these guys give like the worst audition of all time. Horrible. And he pushes them through.
Funny.
And my favorite line in this episode is actually delivered by one of the other contestants who got pushed through.
Okay.
He comes out of the audition room and he's whooping and hollering and knocking stuff over and generally being obnoxious. And he and his brother are wearing cowboy hats and the typical cowboy garb and and they have Southern accents and they come over to congratulate Sean and Gus. And one of the brothers says, Nigel just called us a curious cocktail of inbreeding and type 2 diabetes.
It's really good. That was funny.
And I just lose it every time he says that. I've seen this episode so many times, but it just knocks me out. And then also my second favorite is the fact that the nickname for the blueberry was born in this episode.
Yes, that's
when Nigel says, I feel like I've been incarcerated inside of a blueberry.
That's great.
Yes. It's such a good episode. It's so funny. There are so many laugh out loud moments, and a lot of them are due to Tim Curry.
Yeah.
But quirks of everybody in this episode is great. And as many times as I've seen this episode, I just realized this time that when Lassie is interviewing Emelina Saffron in interrogation, he's chewing on a wooden match, like Sly Stallone did in Cobra.
Oh, how about that? I didn't notice that.
I've never noticed that before.
That's funny.
It's amazing. I've seen this episode. I've seen these Psychs at least 6 times. At least, probably more than that. And I'm still picking up stuff, little nuggets in these episodes.
That's so great. That's what's so much fun about something you love that much. Like I watched Overboard again. And I picked something else up.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That even though you know it well, there's still things to be learned. And did you spot the pineapple in this episode?
Oh, that was easy. Finding the pineapple in this one was piece of cake.
Yeah, it was.
Because Sean brought a pineapple with a bow into the hospital when he went to see Emelina.
Exactly. Exactly. This was an easy one. Some of them are tough. So we're gonna spot the pineapple.
We're gonna spot the pineapple. Yep, yes. Exactly. Pineapple corner, spot that pineapple.
Exactly. What was your favorite part of this episode?
I'm going to say, okay, when it was Tears for Fears meets Michael Jackson Thriller.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, that was good. Right? That was really good.
Yeah, and they did shout.
Yeah, they did.
It was actually very creative the way
it was. They did a really good job.
They really did.
And of course, Nigel trashed them.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's no longer part of the plot.
No,
you know?
No, but the audience loved it. Yeah, I loved it too.
Exactly. I did too.
Yeah. I thought it was really good.
That was good. Yeah.
Our very first pineapple corner.
So last season for letter A, music, I did Alice Cooper because it was his birthday, my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And but typically, if you're going to ask me who's my favorite band, letter A, it's ACDC.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So Angus Young and Malcolm Young, 18 and 20 respectively, formed ACDC in 1973. By the way, there's 8 kids in that family.
Whoa.
The oldest brothers and sister born in 1933.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were born in like the 1930s, you know?
Oh my goodness.
I know. So Angus is the youngest of all of them.
Is he? Is that why he wears a schoolboy outfit?
Well, his sister is, it all started with his sister, actually. In the back of her sewing machine, it said ACDC. And she approached him and said, hey, you know, this is a cool name. And if I remember in an interview, I believe she sewed his first schoolboy outfit too.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So they had started with a singer by the name of Dave Evans, but they decided to release him in 1974. They had gone then on stage and done some gigs, just instrumental. Bon Scott was in the audience and they had encouraged him to come on stage and sing with them. The rest was history from there.
Yeah.
Of course. Bon Scott was amazing.
Yeah, he was.
Amazing. These are the albums. TNT, 1975. High Voltage, 76. Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, 76. And this is one of the bands that tend to name their albums after one of the songs.
Yeah.
You know? Let There Be Rock, 77. Parrish, 78. If You Want Blood, You've Got It, 1978. Highway to Hell, 1979. Unfortunately, Bon Scott passed on February 19th in 1980. They were in the middle of doing Back in Black, that album. They were wrapping it up and they dedicated that album to him. To me, that's their best album, is Back in Black.
I think that's probably the general consensus.
I gotta agree with you. Here's the songs in Back in Black. Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, What Do You Do for Money, Honey, Giving a Dog a Bone, Let Me Put My Love Into You. On the flip side, it's Back in Black, You Shook Me All Night Long, Have a Drink on Me, Shake a Leg, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. All these songs, every single one of these songs, if you're not going to hear them on regular classic rock radio, you're hearing them on like the
deep tracks.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
well, I think Back in Black is probably their most recognized, their biggest.
And Rolling Stone does have that as their best album.
Yeah. That song is so prolific. It's synonymous with them. And
it's my ringtone.
It is your ringtone.
And
I think it's everybody's favorite. It really is. Yes. And you know, it's like Iron Man's favorite too. But
sure.
On that album are my favorite 2 AC/DC songs, which is Back in Black and You Shook Me All Night Long.
Love it.
Back in Black is like that staple, that comfort, that warm bread. You know, you know it, but when You Shook Me All Night Long comes on, that's the excitement for me. That's the one.
That's
I'm
the
like,
rock and roll.
Yeah, that's the one I turn up. You know, I mean, I turn them both up, but I'm like, ooh, you know, I mean, I grew up with AC/DC mostly because of you guys.
Of course.
Those are the ones that are part of the DNA.
Right. Okay. So, and then of course, Brian Johnson. The guys actually thought about packing it in. And Bon Scott's family encouraged them to take on Brian Johnson and keep going from there. And they did. And thank God they did.
Yeah.
Because I love Brian Johnson. Love him.
I know you do.
Okay. So after Back in Black is For Those Who Are About to Rock, We Salute You, 1981. Flick of the Switch, 83. Fly on the Wall, 85. Who Made Who, 86. Blow Up Your Video, 88. The Razor's Edge is 1990, which is my second favorite album. That has Thunderstruck on it. I love every song on that album too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Thunderstruck is the name of our boat. You know that.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Ballbuster, 1995. Stiff Upper Lip, 2000. Black Ice, 2008. Iron Man 2, 2010. Rock or Bust, 2014. And then unfortunately, Malcolm passes in 2017, age 64. He actually had lung cancer and was treated for that. Had a heart condition, had a pacemaker, but it ended up, it's dementia that got him. What a shame. Let's see, 2020, they released Power Up. That's their last album so far that they released. Let's see, they were inducted in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Steven Tyler in 2003.
Nice.
So you ready for my favorite top 5 AT's ACDC songs?
Yes.
Okay. You know, number 1.
Yeah.
Back in Black.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 2 for me is Thunderstruck.
I knew that. I knew that. Yeah. I mean, it's got a great beginning.
Oh,
don't get me wrong.
My God.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Number 3 for me is You Shook Me All Night Long.
Hey, I'm glad I rated it in the top 5.
Yep. Number 4 is Highway to Hell.
Oh, okay.
Number 5, It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll.
That's in my top 5 too.
Yep. Okay, so I have a couple honorable mentions.
Okay.
Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap.
Yes.
Money Talks.
Okay.
Razor's Edge. I really love that song.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell's Bells, Shoot the Thrill, For Those About to Rock. And I'm going to give a special Dirty Deeds honorable mention to this one.
Okay.
Big Bulls.
I love that song. I love that song.
Upper class high society.
Yeah. Oh my God. You just can't get a funner song.
I know. And you know what? Kids and adults alike love that song.
Love it.
Love that song.
He's got big balls and she's got big balls.
We got the biggest
balls of them all. I mean, come on.
Love it. But I can picture Bon Scott doing the beginning. High society. So
pinky
funny.
In the air.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. He was good.
He was.
He was really, really good. But anyway, ACDC, love them. One of my favorite bands. And like I told you that Brian Johnson does interviews too for, I believe it's Access TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Okay, I'm going to do a featured actor because it's going to parlay into something else.
Okay.
Alan Tudyk is actually a favorite of mine, and a lot of people will probably be able to recognize his face or the characters he does, but don't really know his name, like you.
Myself included.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do now, though.
He is a great comedic actor. He is like a character actor, so you don't always know his name. Alan Ray Tudyk was born on March 16th in El Paso, Texas. And he's appeared in movies, TV, on Broadway. He went to Juilliard. He's very talented. And the birthday book says that March 16th is the day of realistic inspiration. Those born on this day are able to combine the imaginative and the practical into an appealing and realistic attitude. They have a talent for balancing the contrasting sides of their character. And many March 16th people carry the confidence of those favored in life and have the capacity to call the best from most situations. A kind of golden quality or wholeness imbues much of what they do, and they should strive to find an occupation in which they can express both the inspirational and pragmatic aspects of their nature. And I think these are very good combined qualities to have in a comedic actor.
Sure.
One in which you know your lines, but you also can be creative and improvisational. And Jerry Lewis was also born on this day.
Okay.
And he was like the king of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Nancy Wilson of Heart was also born on March 16th.
Okay.
So I first saw him in 28 Days with Sandra Bullock. He was so good. He played Gerhardt, and he was funny and heartbreaking at the same time. I wanted to hug him so bad, because he was so heartbreaking, but he was so unique and quirky and funny at the same time. And he was in Wonder Boys with Michael Douglas and Robert Downey Jr. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It was right there.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yes.
He tends to be a standout for me in everything he's in. He was in A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, and he played Watt, and he stole the show. He was so funny. He helped make Firefly a favorite for me, and it was a show I loved for so many reasons, but he was chief among them. He's done a ton of voice work, and Disney's gotten a hold of him, and he's done voice work in every Disney movie since 2002. He's even done voices for Phineas and Ferb, which is a favorite of little guys.
Of course, right?
So yeah,
cool.
He's all over the place. He's been in a bunch of TV series, and that's kind of why I'm bringing him up now, because I've been watching this series called Resident Alien, and he plays the alien in it.
Okay.
It's on Sci-Fi, but I've been watching it on Peacock. He comes to this planet because he's going to kill all humans. You're just like, oh my God, what is this going to be about? But he plays it so funny and so quirky and so offbeat that it keeps it from ever becoming too dark, even though it's a dark subject matter.
Right.
So his ship is damaged. The device he's going to use to kill all the humans is damaged. So he winds up having to hang out here and take on a human form. So his alter ego is Harry Vanderspiegel. And he's a doctor in a...
What are we back to Psych?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
He is a doctor in a fictional small town in Colorado called Patience. And in the beginning, he kind of doesn't have any emotions. The aliens, they don't have any emotions. And he definitely wants to kill everybody. And that's definitely his goal, is to get these pieces of his ship back together and to kill humans. But as he maintains his human form, he starts to become more and more human because he picks up the emotions. And his nurse in the practice in Colorado, her name is Asta, and she's Native American, and he becomes real close with her, and they actually become friends.
Okay.
And as they become friends, he does not want her to die. So he starts to adjust his plans. He's going to build a bunker for her so that they can go in the bunker,
right,
and survive. And she's like, I don't want to be in a bunker. All my family and my friends are going to die. I don't want to live if they're all dead. And he's like, right. Oh, crap. So now he's got to keep adjusting his
plan.
Yeah. And as he meets kind of more of these native peoples, he starts to understand.
On adjusting plans, huh?
Yeah, because he starts to understand that, they are also distraught by what's happening to the planet, because that's why they want to kill all the humans, because they're killing the planet.
I see. Okay.
So he starts to change a little bit, but the goal is still to kill humans. He still doesn't know how he's going to not get that done.
Okay.
Along the way, he's now finding out there's another race of aliens here, and they are coming to take over. They want to take over this planet. And Harry's species want to save the planet. So now we're at odds, and we're in the second season, the middle of the second season, and some really interesting things are starting to happen. But amidst all of this, it is very humorous. I laugh out loud like multiple times during these episodes.
Really?
Because, yeah, it's so...
I didn't know it was light like that.
I mean, wasn't supposed to be. It's from a comic. And originally in the comic, it's a lot darker and a lot more serious. Okay. But Alan Tudyk went in and he gave such a crazy good audition that they actually changed everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that, they could make more use of his comedic talents and the way he approaches it.
And probably get a bigger audience, too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's just so funny. The bluntness and the literalness that he exhibits kind of actually reminds me of autism, but it plays really well. And it makes so much sense because it shows really how much we muddy the waters as humans, and we don't communicate honestly with one another. And there's so much subtext in all of our interactions, and he just kind of like cuts through all of that. Yeah. And it's just, and the awkwardness that then exhibits, you know, like as a doctor, he's got this patient who's gonna die in 6 months, let's say, and he's standing there and he's got Asta as the nurse, and the patient's like, you know, give it to me straight, doctor. And she's like shaking her head no. She's like, nope, don't do it. And he's like, do you like Christmas? And he's like, yeah, I do like Christmas. And he's like, maybe celebrate it in June.
Oh man. Oh man.
And he's like, okay. Thank you for being honest with me, you know. And they were like, you have a very interesting bedside manner. But it's just, you know, that's the kind of delivery that he's just like, maybe I'm gonna tell you the truth, you know. And we are not used to doing that as humans, and it catches people off guard. But you can also see how people do appreciate somebody finally being honest with them, and it is refreshing. So it's just very unexpectedly funny. It's unexpectedly funny, even when he's mad and he's, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna kill all you ham sacks, you know. It's really funny. They're writing a 3rd season for it, so there's going to be a 3rd, but we're in the middle of the 2nd season, and it's in the hiatus portion. So I'm like waiting for the next episodes to come, and it's just really fun, and it's something that I enjoy watching, and my mom likes too, because she likes sci-fi as well.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to give a shout out to Alan Tudyk and to Sci-Fi for giving him this opportunity to play this role, because it is absolutely hilarious. And if you ever I know you have Sci-Fi, right?
Yes.
If you get the chance and you see it,
okay, I will.
Try and start from the beginning, because the way things unfold, you're like, you get a greater understanding of what's happening, and things aren't always what they appear to be. And it's done really well. It's very well written.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. For my favorite A movie, it has to still be The Avengers.
Of course.
Has to be. But this one is Age of Ultron, which is the 2nd Avengers.
Okay.
In 2015.
Okay.
And in this one, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, they make a boo-boo. They created a peacekeeping program that is dormant, and it's supposed to protect the Earth from alien invaders, like when Loki opened the portal and the Battle of New York took place in the 1st Avengers.
Okay.
So that's what is like occupying Tony's mind.
You have a little theme going here.
I know.
Alien
it just kind of worked out that way.
Okay.
But I love how everything just really does tie together. So they come up with this, and it's dormant. They're working on it. They don't know really how to bring it to fruition. And through some little hijinks or whatever, the program kind of wakes itself up. The best intentions, the best laid plans, right? They go awry. And so often we see in these movies, when a computer program gains a sentience, it decides that its prime directive of protecting humanity is best served by eradicating some portion of humanity, if not all. And in this case, the Ultron program decides that the Avengers need to be eradicated. They are the danger to humanity. This program inhabits the internet. It inhabits all these different robotics. It inhabits this Iron Legion that Tony created, and goes to war with the Avengers. And there are a lot of human casualties as a result of that. And throughout this movie, Ultron becomes stronger and stronger. He continually upgrades himself. He gets more knowledge. He gets better robotics. He goes and he gets vibranium from Wakanda, which is this crazy awesome metal that Captain America's shield's made out of. And we start to find out during Black Panther all the crazy uses that vibranium has. And Ultron's exploring that. He wants to make a synthetic body that takes vibranium and kind of makes it into this organic material. And he wants to download his consciousness into this crazy body. So he's working on that. And the Avengers are trying to stop him on all these other fronts. And, you know, they're failing because Ultron also has these two enhanced beings. They're Wanda and Pietro. And Wanda has the ability to get in people's minds. And she's basically messing with all the Avengers and pulling out their greatest fears and showing them to them in these visions that are creating lots of disharmony amongst the Avengers. So they can't fight Ultron because Ultron's trying to buy himself time to make this body. What happens is the Avengers hijack the body and they decide that they are best served with it by downloading Jarvis into it. Ultron had downloaded portions of his consciousness into that body already. So basically it was going to be a big soup of Ultron, Tony, Bruce Banner, Jarvis, all the best parts that were supposed to be Ultron without the, you know, crazy, I want to kill everybody portions, and put it into this body with the Mind Stone, which is one of the 6 Infinity Stones. And Thor takes his hammer and kind of Dr. Frankenstein's this body to life, right?
When you said about the brain, you know what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
abnormal
brain.
Yes, exactly.
So this huge conglomerate kind of comes all together into this body and this consciousness and this being called the Vision, who is part AI, part Mind Stone, part who the heck knows. He's like a miracle. The Vision is embodied by the man who has been voicing Jarvis since the beginning of Iron Man, who is Paul Bettany. So Paul Bettany finally gets a physical body to be able to play on screen. So he's been there since the beginning, and he would always just do the voice of Jarvis at the end. He would sit in the studio by himself without all these people. Then now he actually gets to play it. And we're also introduced to Elizabeth Olsen, being Wanda Maximoff, who winds up being the Scarlet Witch, and she's a very important person in the Avengers, and then from this moment on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. James Spader was Joss Whedon's only choice for Ultron because his voice is hypnotic and eerily calming and compelling, but he's also very human and very humorous. And
he has a very unique voice.
He's a very unique voice, and he's really great at like soliloquy, like monologues. He delivers them in such a unique and enthralling way, that it was interesting because he also did the motion capture for Ultron, but Ultron was supposed to be really tall. So they had these like little balls, like 3 feet on top of James for the eye reference. But all the actors playing against him were so enthralled by what he was doing, they would forget to look at the ball. They would look at his face.
Instead of looking at the eyeballs.
Exactly. They were giving this amazing performance, and they were like trying to like watch it and not watch it at the same time because it was he was so good. In some of the outtakes, you see like Robert Downey Jr. and James Spader together, and James Spader is just saying, whose idea was it to put both of us in the same scene? You know, mayhem is going to ensue because they like play off of each other and stuff. And, you know, both kind of complex personalities.
I'd say so. They're about the same age too, right?
And they know each other from way back.
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
from way back.
You know,
I got to tell you something. Every time you mention Avengers, there was a TV show back in the 60s. Okay, so you know about it.
Yes.
I mean, it was a show. It was from England. And it was on, like, you watch Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
And then you watch the Avengers.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the same type of kind of show. So
it was like a cool. spy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was cool. I watched it.
Yeah.
But every time you say Avengers, that's the Avengers I think of.
I know. That's not the Avengers I'm talking about, though.
I know that.
I'm talking about Iron Man.
Of course.
You know, Captain America. Avengers Assemble.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little quick segment, hopefully weekly. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
It's going to be called It's Greek to Me because we're both Greek.
We are.
Letter A, I'm going to just talk real quick about Athens.
Okay.
Is Europe's oldest capital cities. Athens is known to be the birthplace of democracy, which is, to me, everything. And it's the idea of all citizens should have a voice in governing their society. It's the origin of the marathon, a couple historical landmarks, the Acropolis, the Parthenon, all the ruins, the museums, the market, the Agora. Just awesome. I wish I can go there.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can someday, but letter A, Athens.
And with that, I want to bring in a mythology component because I love mythology and I'm a mythological nerd.
Yeah.
And since we're talking about Athens, we might as well mention Athena.
Love her.
Who was the daughter of Zeus and Metis. And Zeus gave birth to her fully grown out of his head because he swallowed Metis when she was pregnant, because that's the way it goes. It was believed that Athena was the favorite child of Zeus, as she was his firstborn. And if you are of Greek heritage or you know anybody Greek, you know that being firstborn is a huge deal.
Your dad.
Yes, my dad.
It was a huge deal. Believe me.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was the goddess of battle strategy and wisdom, as well as crafting, like weaving, and of wealth. And her animal totem was an owl. She was often accompanied by Nike, the goddess of victory. She was also referred to as Pallas Athena. So what I love about her is that
she's my favorite, by the way.
She is my favorite as well.
Yeah.
She was equal among all the gods. She was one of the 12 Olympians.
Right.
She sat in on all the men's stuff.
Yep.
Because she was a virgin. She made that deal with Zeus that she never had to marry. She was fierce and wise and strong and smart and capable and creative. And she was righteous. She was the ideal for me. And she's often portrayed as an emblem of female empowerment because she was so incredibly capable and strong.
Yeah. And
historically, we have believed that Athens was named for her because she gifted them with an olive tree.
Correct.
But modern scholars think it might have been the other way around and she was named for Athens. But either way, the Parthenon,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The Parthenon was her most famous shrine, and it is one of the most enduring symbols of not only Athens, but of Greece today, and is one of the world's greatest cultural monuments. That's what I have to say about Athena.
Love it.
So our first episode back, I think that went all right.
You know, it was weird. It's like I was a little rusty.
I think we did fine.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're in our second season now, and we're happy to be back. And if you enjoyed this episode, remember to tell your friends and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Sense and Nonsense A to Z, all one word. And if you're listening on YouTube, remember to like our episode, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell to get a heads up on each episode as it becomes available.
Right. Tuesday mornings. We try to be pretty consistent.
We do.
So just one thing before we go, I just wanted to make a note. I know I use Wikipedia all the time, and they're doing a fundraiser. So I'm just going to say, if you use it, please just give them a couple bucks. It'll help them a lot, just so we can all continue to use it every day.
Yes.
You know. All right. We appreciate you listening. With that, we're out of here.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.